What is up, everybody? The History Guy here, and I am just feeling like a little World War II. I've been traveling a lot, and I've been listening to Stephen Ambrose's the audio version of his incredible work on D-Day, and I just finished that up, and I'm just really in a World War II mode. So I want to go and I want to play a little Hearts of Iron 4, but not with all the crazy mods that I've been doing a lot lately. I want to go back to what it was meant to be, which is World War II. So we're going to play with the Blackice mod, and we're going to dive right in. I haven't decided yet who I want to play as. So I'm going to be thinking about that here for a little bit, and then I'll let you know what I decide. You know, now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever played as Japan. Never. I mean, not on a video, not on my own. I've never played as Japan. I guess maybe I just always felt like it was a different kind of game than I was really looking to play, you know, mostly focused on naval combat and all of that stuff and island hopping and not nearly as much kind of ground warfare, which is what I prefer. So this is going to get me out of my comfort zone a little bit. I think we're going to play as Japan. So let's go ahead. We'll go on regular difficulty. Let's take a look at the custom game rules for a second. I don't think that we want to mess with any of that. I think we're just going to keep it all exactly as it is. Let's take a look at AI behavior for a second. We're going to allow pair drops, all that kind of stuff. I guess we're probably going to go historical with everybody. Yeah, why not? Let's do that. We could always mess with the Soviet Union and see what they do. But no, we're going to stick with historical AI on everybody and just see what happens. So what is Bice mode? Bice is life. Brutally unfair. No, I don't think we'll do that. All right. Japan it is. Let's dive in. So I'm thinking, I don't know if this is possible or not, but this is just what I'm thinking. And if it's possible, I'm going to go for it. I'm thinking what I'd like to do is I'd prefer to stay out of a war with the United States if at all possible. If we can keep the U.S. out of our war and keep it confined to largely to the Eastern Hemisphere, I might go after the Soviet Union, but only after the Nazis already go to war with them. So I think we'll try to confine this to Europe and Asia if we can. So we'll try to gobble up China, but then just kind of keep out of things with the U.S. I don't know if that's possible, but we're going to give it a try. Now with Blackice, obviously there's been a lot of updates since the last time I played Blackice. So I know there's a lot of learning I'm going to need to do. So bear with me as I kind of fumble my way through everything that Blackice has to offer. There are 5 research slots available right off the bat. And, you know, the thing with Blackice is that everything is much more specialized. There's so many more options available. Things aren't real general, even as far as, like, you know, researching infantry weapons. There's all kinds of different weapons. It's not just infantry weapon 1, 2, 3, etc. So there's a lot more here. But as always, I really want to start my focus on building up the infrastructure, building up industry, things of that nature, just to get myself up on the right foot right off the bat. So we're going to focus on those things. Oil is obviously going to be huge for Japan. The whole kind of conflict with the U.S. really kind of centered around control of oil. And that was what eventually led down the path to Pearl Harbor. So obviously anything we can do to offset our need for oil is going to go a long way. So I think we'll start with that. We've got to decide on a national focus, and again, I want to go with infrastructure and industry as much as possible early on. So I think we're going to go with strengthen civilian government to start, and then we'll kind of work our way down from there. Navy will be key as Japan, so we're going to start with the Navy right off the bat here. Some of these ships are going to take a long time to build, so I think rather than, let's at least get one carrier going. It looks like there's already a ton of stuff already queued up as far as the Navy goes, and a lot of those are kind of on auto, just reproducing over and over again. I want to change that for now because I feel like that's kind of a waste of time. So, oh no, I guess they're all just set to 1. So we'll let that kind of go and play out, and then we'll be able to decide where we want to go from there with the Navy. Next, I'm looking at industry, and I know right off the bat steel is going to be in massive demand because of all of the ships I'm going to need to build and the tanks. So we're going to start queuing up some steel mills right off the bat. I just don't have a lot of natural resources, so anything I can do to improve that. Let's get some steel mills going. And it looks like I can't really build more than one at a time. I've got no divisions in basic training. Oh boy, I don't even know what these are. I'm going to have to learn what the names are because I am not good at that. We can see what they're made of. Looks like this is infantry. Yeah, so let's go ahead and start queuing up a few infantry. Where? Japan mainland's the only place I can put them. So we'll queue up 3 divisions at a time for now. I think that'll be plenty. We've got to update our equipment that's being produced. I can also get more military factories going. So primarily I think we're going to work on infantry equipment, which requires steel, of course, which I don't have. But now we got to update the equipment that's being produced. What are we missing here? This one here. Okay. Switch over to the Army fighters. Insufficient resources, need lots of steel. I have a deficit of 101 steel. That's got to change. And then we'll get everybody organized in divisions, but I think otherwise we are ready to go. So let's start seeing the world events as they unfold. All right, so world events, the remilitarization of the Rhineland. That is the first little step toward war. That brings world tension up to 3%. So Germany's obviously going down a very traditional path at the moment. I've got some things here that I can do that could give me some additional factories, but would also kind of give me a little bit of a hit. So I think for now I'm just going to store up that political power because there may be other uses for it. I'm garrisoning a lot of my units on my mainland all the way down through Taiwan, Okinawa, and all the way up into here, but I'm also going to start getting an army ready to go for when the time comes. We're about to finish strengthen civilian government. After that, I have a decision to make if I want to keep going down this tree. I can get this next research slot, which would really come in handy on Blackice because there are so many things to research. I feel like that's probably where I'll go first, but then I've got a choice to make because right here, if I go with ally the Zaibatsus, I can get 4 additional civilian factories, which right now would be really huge for me. So I think anything I can do for that will be helpful. But I could also go over here with the Manchurian project and go down expanding infrastructure, adding some civilian factories there. Heavy industry is going to give me some military factories. So a lot of different ways I can go with this. If I go challenge the Zaibatsus over here, which it looks like I can't now because I've already chosen strengthen the civilian government. So, all right, so I guess that's where we're at for now with that. Interesting, February 26th incident. On the 26th of February, a group of young military officers attempted a coup d'etat. The radical Kodha faction in the military assassinated several prominent politicians, but failed to assassinate the prime minister. The coup failed, and unlike in the aftermath of the previous attempted coup, the surviving perpetrators were given secret trials and shot. All right, so we can purge them. It's going to give a 10% boost to fascism, remove the national spirit radical factions. It's going to add 4 infrastructure, 2 in 2 different places. Or I can support the coup, and it's going to change popularity of absolute monarchy by 35%. So that would move me away from fascism, but more toward an absolute monarchy. I think we're going to stay fascism for now. I don't know what that'll mean long term, but that's where we'll go with that. I've gone ahead and started researching the Yamato battleship class, and I've got a ton of decisions available to me here. I'm just not sure that any of them really benefit me in any great way at the moment. So I think we'll hold off on spending on any of those. So I think we're going to use some of this political power to lower taxes. And what that's going to do is several things. It's going to improve my political power gain. It's going to improve my production efficiency, my factory output, my civilian factory construction speed, even my dockyard construction speed. So there's a lot to be gained by going from high taxes down to average taxes. We've also completed a research slot, so let's go ahead and see where we want to go next. Oh yeah, we got to get this one. This is going to give me a boost to research speed. I should have probably already done that one. We've got some dockyards free because we've been building up some of that Navy. So let's see. Let's go ahead and boost some of these bigger capital ships and get them going a little faster. Some of these as well. All right, that should do that for now. I'll worry about the equipment production later. And of course, we need more steel. Story of my life, I'm afraid. All right, there's research spending. So now we've got ourselves another research slot that gives me 7. That's huge. That's really going to be helpful moving forward. Looks like, well, we're not quite to 19. Well, we are. I guess let's go ahead and start working on atomic research. We'll use that extra slot for that. We are at 1935, so there's no research penalty for that. It's the very early stages, but we're going to want to have a nuclear program. Now, as far as national focus goes, I think we change now. And I think we go in a different direction with this. I don't want to go down this way. We could do a preemptive coup, purge the militarists. No, I don't think so. Not yet. Spiritual mobilization. What's that going to get me? Recruitable population bonus. That's really not an issue right now. We've got industrial effort here. That's going to be big. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. It's only 35 days. There's spiritual mobilization. That one only took 35 days. So now let's go ahead and take a look and see what we've got opened up to us here. We've got warrior traditions. That'll give 5% stability. Also some bonuses in other areas that don't really help a whole lot right now. National spirit, student mobilization, land, doctrine, and research, 5% bonus. But the main one right here is industrial effort. That's going to get me 3 new civilian factories and a steel mill. So that's huge. Synthetic oil focus down there is going to be helpful too. Oh, we need imperial authority first. So let's go ahead and do that one. That'll get us that. We've got unfulfilled import requests we got to worry about. We're middle June 1936. Things are pretty quiet, and I intend for them to stay that way for as long as humanly possible. All right, the 5 Ministers Conference was a meeting between 5 important Japanese ministers in which they laid out a plan for Japanese expansion. So here we go. Now we're going to start making our decisions. It was decided to expand southwards into China and other parts of Asia. The Soviet Union was not ignored, however, and a part of this plan was also to build a large enough army to be able to defeat the Soviet Union. Okay, maintain goodwill with the UK and the US. Yeah, I agree. I like that idea. Prime Minister Hirota agreed with the plan, decided to let the Army or Navy draw up a detailed plan. Obviously, one's going to favor the other more. So, yeah, we're going to go with the Navy, take charge of planning. I'm in the middle of editing my task force composition so I can build my task forces the way that I want to. So I'm kind of just playing with this right now a little bit until I get it where I want it. Here comes our first big decision, the anti-Comintern Pact. Germany proposes that we sign a pact to address the Comintern's goal of spreading communism worldwide through use of subversion and violence. So yeah, that's my goal, is to oppose the Soviet Union. So I'm all about that. I'm going to start building some battle cruisers, even though I don't have the most recent ones available to me. I'm just going to go ahead and queue up a few of those here while I'm continuing to work on some Soryu class carriers. I've got down to just 2 fleets now. Eventually I'll kind of spread out, but I just wanted to make sure that I had 2 fully functional kind of diverse fleets. So let me know your thoughts on that. I've not done a lot with naval combat on this game. I know I've got a lot to learn, and as Japan, I know how vital that is to my war effort. So that's probably why I've avoided Japan, is because I'm not real comfortable playing that part of the game. So any tips you may have for me will be greatly appreciated. All right, there's our industrial effort. That helps. That adds some new industry to things. It also frees up some additional options down here. Industrial, these are all research bonuses. Oh, this is nice. Fortress Japan. But for now, let's go ahead and get another extra research slot. Let's go after student movement. And we're winding down here. I think we'll take this episode to the end of 1936. That'll be a good place to stop, because I definitely want to give time for some feedback from all of you about where you think I should go with this. And those of you who have played Japan before, I would love to hear from you about what you found that was a successful strategy on this game. Now, obviously with Blackice, it's a little more complicated, but I'm going to do my best with it. So here's an overview of my current research. I'm working on Dispersed Industry 1. Early turbojet theories is about 126 days away. Fuel refining 2 is going to give me a boost to my oil production. So that's going to be a big deal. Like I said, oil is going to be key for my fleets, for my armies. The magazine fort raid. The IRA raided the magazine fort in Dublin. That doesn't really affect me all that much. We're about to complete Yamato class super heavy battleships in about 25 days. Excavation 1, which is going to allow me to have additional storage output. And then, of course, atomic research is still a little less than a year away. So we're into December now. There's the Yamato. Let's go ahead and start getting a couple of those bad boys going. Man, they are going to take a long time to build. We're going to move them up somewhere in the priority lane, though. 1948 as it stands. No, that is not going to work. Even if I get all three going, where does that put me on that thing? Yeah, November 1940. That's a little better. Still going to take almost 4 years to build one of those things. But man, they'll be nice when I get them out there. What can we do with the Navy? Everything is researched up through 1939. So anything I do at this point is going to be costly. We've got some basic naval techs that we can go with, but I don't think that's necessary until we go to war. Let's go ahead and start doing some naval theory research doctrines. We're going to wrap it up right there, because that is the end of 1936. We'll go ahead and let this tick over, but please let me know your thoughts. Please hit thumbs up if you want to see more from this series. I don't know how often I'll play it, because I've got some other things that I've worked on in the past that I need to finish up. I want to go back and revisit those series, but I just had an itch for a World War II game, so I had to dive into this tonight. So use the comment section below. Please leave comments. Hitting that like, subscribing, and commenting are 3 great ways that you can help me out to grow this channel. I'm so appreciative of everyone who's been involved so far, and if you want to help me to help it to grow, that's how you can do that. So thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you again soon.